Hello, everybody. This is episode 2 of the series called Genetics Has Proven the Adam and Eve Story in Genesis to be Impossible. Actually, this is just the premise we start off with. It's a fact. We take this as a fact because it is a fact. It's a unfalsifiable fact, and has been tested so many times, and the regular science things like prediction and observation, repetition, and peer review and understanding it and checking it and this, that, and the other has made it a 100% a certainty that genetics it exists. There's nothing you can do about it. Having said that, I just want to concentrate on that first sentence, which is genetics has proven the Adam and Eve story in Genesis to be impossible. Okay, that is a fact that I just want to start off with. Genetics has proven Adam and Eve impossible. In other words, the claim by the Adam and Eveists, creationists, that the earth was created by this creator who sort of, I don't know, spoke into existence whatever came into existence, and in one instant he stuck a man on the earth, all sort of complete as we are today, and a woman as well. Well, doesn't matter what the story is, it's still bizarre, still makes no sense. However, be that as it may, the Adam and Eve story is impossible. So genetics has proven that the Adam and Eve story is impossible. Now, this is just the first sentence of a meme that I ran across. Essentially, what it's saying is genetics has proven the Adam and Eve story in Genesis to be impossible. Without that, you can't have original sin, because without original sin, there would be no need for Jesus. Without Jesus, the whole Christian religion falls apart. And then the whole religion is based on and relies upon a story that could not be true. All evidence points to this fact. Game over for anything that relies on Adam and Eve for its very existence. Okay? And then I thought I had another graphic. Oh, yes, I do. I have something else up. Hold on a minute. And here is a hopefully you can actually read it. A definition of what physics, of what genetics is. Okay. And what is genetics? Well, let me tell you. Let me just get it nice and. Oops. I think I made a boo-boo. Well, genetics is the study. Oh, one moment. Hi, welcome. Genetics is the study of genes, genetic variation, and heredity in living organisms. It is generally considered a field of biology, but it intersects frequently with many of the life sciences and is strongly linked with the study of information systems. So here we have genetics is basically information. Welcome, Armin. You can unmute yourself if you like.
Peace.
Hello, Armin?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Peace. I'm here, brother.
Oh, okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that we could hear each other.
And what I just chimed in on, I agree with you. Genetics is the study of information. I agree with that.
And you also agree that genetics being what it is, it disproves the Adam and Eve story in Genesis. It might be.
I agree. It disproves it. Even in the story of Genesis, though, I agree with you, but I just want to add a little more. In the story of Genesis, obvious that Adam and Eve wasn't the first human beings on the face of the planet, though. It's written in the book itself that they wasn't the first human beings. But I get your premise.
So it's written in the book that they weren't first human beings.
You have to use common sense or comprehension at that point, because if Cain killed Abel and Cain left and went to another town, he was mocked, quote unquote, by God, and went to another city, town, village, whatever, and found a wife. Obviously, they wasn't the first person, the first people on the face of the earth.
Well, I could step a little back and say that genetics can prove or has proven God to be impossible.
I would agree with you on that as well. I wouldn't disagree. I would agree on that as well. But just for the sake of whatever listeners who subscribe to that theologian way of thinking, I just wanted to add that, if you understand what I'm saying.
Go ahead. Did you want to say
I'm listening to you. I want you to continue going in with the with genetics. I want you to continue going in, because so far so good. I agree with you.
Well, I don't want to go too far into it, because I don't want to I don't want to become too complex. However, I do have a little goal. I mean, we've got basically a simple set of proofs that genetics, of course, renders Adam and Eve to be impossible. Genetics is basically information. And we've also concluded that, and agree, you and me, that genetics has pretty much falsified the God concept.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Right.
I guess I would add, I would agree with that. One thing I would add is not about the God concept, but when we talk about genetics, we will have to also add in migrations, because that's very key. That's a key point into genetics, because all genetics, all different, quote unquote, not all, but how do you say this? Ethnic groups have different markers. So
but ethnic groups don't cause genetics. Genetics is just all this information. Doesn't matter about ethnic groups. Doesn't matter about anything.
But those ethnic groups are placed somewhere geographically, and
it doesn't matter. For the purpose of genetics, it matters not. We can just take the information that is in the DNA and in the genetic material, and we can plop it in its correct place on the scientific timeline.
Okay, and the scientific timeline is made by what? By migrations, right?
I'd say no. That's the historical timeline is probably made by migrations.
So let's be clear with the audience. You're talking about the end conclusion of where we are at right now, and what I'm talking about, as they say, scientific Eve. We're talking about two different things at this point.
I don't understand what you're saying, because I'm talking about, basically what I'm talking about is having people come in here or listen and watch and realize that, yeah, this does make sense. Genetics has pretty much falsified the God concept. It's a fact, and it's a matter of dealing with it, and that's what we could probably be here for. People can come in and let us know that, okay, game over for Christianity, or for anything.
Okay, all right. I'm in agreement with you on that, so we can keep it there. I'm talking about, as I said, the origin point opposed to, because I think that deals with what you're talking about,
Well,
but you're coming from the God point. So I get what you're saying.
We'll get there in 1 minute. But any religion or ideology that relies on the Adam and Eve story to be a statement of fact, as opposed to an understood allegory, fiction, or allegorical
allegory.
If you take the Adam and Eve story to be absolute truth, then this is the show for you, because we can work with you as you come to terms with the fact that the Adam and Eve story, and in fact all the Bible is fantasy literature. So yeah, that's the kind of people I would love to talk to.
Okay, I'm on the same page as you, so I'm not opposed to what it is that you're saying.
That's
at
good.
all. I agree with you.
You're part of the
I'm not opposed to that.
Okay. So you're on the panel, and you like to be called Amin?
Amen. Oh, Tutankhamun, such as King Tut, Tutankhamun.
Amen. All right, got it. Oh,
but I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you, sir.
Good.
The genetic markers, like, it totally just smashes the whole religious paradigm. It just completely just smashes it. Like, it makes it as if, like, Puff the Magic Dragon, like, on one side you have us as humans, really, the progression of us as modern humans moving along, or we can go further back, or the opposing side would be Puff the Magic Dragon. So I totally agree with you that no, facts are facts and fiction are fiction.
Right. Now, I was in episode 1. This is episode 2 of the same theme. And I was in episode 1. I had a guest come in. His name is Christian Hillbilly. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's one of our friends on Google Hangouts. No? Anyway, he came in and he attacked that very first premise. We couldn't get past this. He wouldn't accept that genetics is information, and he couldn't accept that it has proven Adam and Eve to be impossible. And his name is Christian Hillbilly. He might come in tonight. I don't know. In fact, I'm going to put out a call for him. Christian Hillbilly.
I don't know who this guy is, because I just started doing Google Hangouts again.
Oh, really?
So like I'm back new well, not new, but I just came back for a couple of months, so I wouldn't know who that is. But I mean, that's just a person holding on to their beliefs.
No, no. A person who doesn't really have beliefs, he has faith, or he says he has faith. But anyway, this is Christian Hillbilly. I don't know if you've ever seen him before.
No, I haven't. I don't know who that is.
Okay, now this is, well, you see he's got this little Batman tattoo on the side here. It's got Batman on there. He's a Batman fan. However, he's a preacher as well. And it seems that he uses his Batman shtick to draw young people into the part of his life that has got nothing to do with Batman. So I'm a little bit. I would like to talk to Christian Hillbilly about this Batman suspicion and how he thinks that using Batman to attract young people into talking about Christianity is honest, or worse. I don't want to think beyond that. So Christian Hillbilly, come on in. Actually, let me see if I can just hang. I'm just gonna have to add Christian Hillbilly.
A fact of the matter, we don't have to really, genetics even, that's just make the case even stronger. But Greeks and Assyrians and Romans created Christianity.
Yeah, we know that. Okay, I'm inviting Christian Hillbilly to come in.
So like genetics is just like that, just at that point that's somewhat like piling on. But the Greeks as well as the Syrians, because all Christianity really is Brahmanism and Zoroastrianism.
Everything's a mixture of everything. Yeah, exactly. It's the whole, even religion itself has evolved to where it is today. It's an evolution.
I would say the religion as it stands right now in this society is only really one religion. That one religion is Catholicism, but is in different forms. Like Islam is Christianity. The same people that put in that created Christianity, or I'm sorry, Catholicism, created Islam. The same people with Zoroastrianism, which is the Assyrians. The Assyrians created Zoroastrianism, King Cyrus, King Darius. They created this, and we all know who Alexander the Great is. Alexander the Great, he actually was into he really liked Zoroastrianism. So they brought that into Greece. Greece fell and Rome came to the throne, or rule, quote unquote, ruling the known world. And when they came into ruling the known world, or so on and so on, under Constantine, that's when it got coined as Christianity. You had the Greek philosophers. They also played a role in it. And the Septuagint, you have the Vulgate. The Septuagint is in Greek, and the Vulgate is in Latin. So it's pretty much the same thing when you use the term Jew, or what. I mean, not that I have anything against Khazarians, But the term Jew, like if a person really look at it, the J never even existed in no one language until 500 years ago, 400 years ago. So a Jew could be anybody that was Hellenistic, a Greco-Roman. So this is the thing of which I think religious people don't actually understand, that these people created something to conquer you or to conquer other people. It's just a book of low grade philosophy.
There we go. I just put up the original meme. But I agree with you 100%.
What a
No.
person would call quote unquote a Jew or the story, you can use the Amaru or the Matani people. Like these, like none of these are just allegory of people who wrote something. Some of it is real, but majority, like 99% of it is not real. It's just allegory.
How's it not real? What do you mean by some of it is?
King
What do you-
Cyrus is real.
Yeah, historical figures.
Yeah,
are
he's
historical
real.
figures, of course.
Hezekiah, he's real.
Perhaps I don't know, but what we do know what is not real for sure. And Adam and Eve is not
Agree.
real.
Agree. I would agree on you. I would agree with you on that.
Well, so far we're in 100% agreement. Everybody in this in on the internet. Come on, Jim. I've sent out an all points bulletin for Jim, the Christian hillbilly, to come on in.
I guess I would ask what you answered, but I want to get, if we able to get deeper into exactly where did this originally come from, not those concepts, but how the concepts got changed around.
No, I want this guy Jim to agree with me about the genetics part of the meme, the very first sentence. I want Jim to be at a point where he will look at that and he will say, correct. And I want everybody
he will be able to do that, even though if he does, let's just say he doesn't even understand genetic markers, and he's supposed to look at it and say, all right,
exactly. But he's a preacher. He's an indoctrinated Christian preacher of some sort, and he just spews dogma. He doesn't think at all. And I want him to I want him to accept that this is correct. Well, Armin dropped out, so I'm going to. All right. Anybody who comes in can, I guess, just join. All right, there you go. I don't mean this to be a necessarily long hangout or a short hangout. However, I do intend this to be somewhat challenging, and if nobody is going to be doing that, walking in here and giving me a good old challenge, Well, not so much a challenge. Just come in here and tell me that it's correct, and you see that it's correct, and your perspective on everything, on your perspective of everything is totally based on reality. How about that? You come in and tell me that. Especially you, Jim. Especially you, Jim. Interesting. All right, I'm going to put it up there one more time. I'm going to go and search out Christian Hillbilly. I know he's got my message. It doesn't look like he's coming in. But here we go. This is what started it all. Genetics has proven the Adam and Eve story in Genesis to be impossible. Without the Adam and Eve story, there would be no original sin. Without original sin, there would be no need for Jesus. Without Jesus, the Christian religion falls apart completely. The whole religion is based on and relies upon a story that could not be true. All evidence points to this fact. So as far as Christianity is concerned, game over. Now what you going to do, Christians? Well, there you go. It looks like either my message has gotten through to everybody and they agree with me and no one's got anything to add. And I appreciate that if that's correct, if that's true. But if nobody wants to put their foot forward and dive right in, support the meme, what it says, that it's game over for Christianity. Well, it's game over for anything that relies on Adam and Eve to be true, which pretty much is any Abrahamic, right? It destroys Christianity, destroys Islam, destroys Judaism, destroys monotheism. It's a good day today, April 21st, 2016. Monotheism destroyed. Well, let's face it, monotheism is destroyed. There will be an episode 3 coming up. I'll set it up. I don't know when it's going to be. Hopefully, we will get more people to actually participate. Maybe this was just not a good time of the day or something. I don't know. Check out my channel with Sydney Winston on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, and do come back.